Right, I don't really want to be too disrespectful here considering this man's actually my dad's favourite England striker. Despite him actually being younger than my dad, my father is a strange man. And while none of you, unless my dad is actually watching this, will be old enough to have actually seen him play, if you have Twitter, you'd most likely have noticed that Gary Lineker in recent years has gone through a startling transformation from a pleasantly perky, playful and impartially pragmatic presenter to a profoundly puzzled and politically pontifical grandpa who's practically a parody of his previously polished and professional self. In short, these days he just seems to be confused as fuck. But you know what? Unlike Mr. Lineker on that godforsaken app, let's stick to football. So like many of you watching this, Gary Lineker believes Messi is the GOAT, which is fair enough. He may very well be. What isn't fair, however, is the argument he uses against Ronaldo. Because whenever he indulges in that debate, Gary Lineker's strongest argument is always, and I screenshot, you can make an argument for who's the better goal scorer, but as footballers, there really is no comparison. Yeah. Bullshit. But to give him the benefit of the doubt, this may just be another instance where Mr. Lineker is just baffled to the bone. He mostly is these days. Hell, I once posted a link to the video I made about David Beckham on my bio, and this man actually thought I called myself David Beckham. Like, what? But even then, with the status this man has in the game and how involved he still is with it, it's, ironically, very baffling on how consistently shallow his take regarding the Messi-Ronaldo debate is. Cause you see, whenever you make an argument concerning the GOATs, you must consider every version of each player. Cause don't forget, we're discussing the GOAT, greatest of all time, not BPOC. Best player on current form. And with that being said, limiting CR7 to just a goal scorer isn't just disrespectful, but also so stupid. Because while the pair of them, like most footballers, have evolved and changed their game to work around aging and injuries, they've done it in super contrasting ways. For example, Lionel Messi has pretty much always remained a similar type of player, a technically elite forward capable of playing anywhere along the front line as well as a 10. And though he did change his game throughout the years, those changes just involved increasing the use of one tool while limiting the use of another. In other words, Messi has always been pretty complete. On the other hand, CR7's evolution was far more drastic. From 2002 to 2006, Ronaldo was strictly a wide midfielder who was brought by Sir Alex Ferguson to replace David Beckham on the right flank. And although he initially rebelled against the manager's instructions on tracking back and defending when out of possession, this was very soon kicked out of him, and by 2006, Ronaldo became one of the best wide midfielders in the world. This then made his manager reward him by actually freeing him from his defensive shackles and building the team around him, leading Ronaldo to enter the second phase of his career, a time when he became the complete modern day winger. And then from 2010 to 2014, his absolute peak, Ronaldo became an almost robotic version of that winger. Now, instead of dropping deep to run past 4 or 5 players, he became more disciplined, picked the ball up in wide areas high up the pitch, ran past 2 or 3 players, and practically guaranteed a goal or assist almost every time, becoming most probably the best wide forward of all time. And then came 2014. I've mentioned this numerous times before, but following that knee injury, Ronaldo slowly began moving more central and narrowing his focus solely on end product. And as the years went by, that focus began being even more narrowed to purely goals, leading him to become the greatest goal scorer / big game player that's ever lived. And that, my friends, is the difference between the two. Because simply put, while Messi has always been complete and just tweaked his game marginally to combat the effects of aging, Ronaldo instead took it in turns to complete different parts of the game in separate blocks of his career. And honestly, you're not wrong whoever you choose. Both are complete, both are legends, and yes, both are GOATs. But for someone like this to use the argument that Ronaldo is only a GOAT level goal scorer, come on. Cause yes, I'd expect this sort of recency bias from either young children who've only seen this version of CR7 or people online trying too hard to talk about things they actually have minimal knowledge on. But Gary Lineker is neither young nor fake. I mean, confused as fuck, sure, but certainly not fake. He's just too blinded by bias to even begin to consider that Cristiano Ronaldo, for actually the majority of his career, was much more than a goal scorer. Hell, this guy was making Ballon d'Or rankings and UEFA Teams of the Year before even scoring his first Champions League goal. But hey, football is a game of opinions after all, I guess. And if there's anything Mr. Lineker himself is the GOAT at, without a shadow of a doubt, it's having an opinion. Still though, this is bullshit. And that is that. Agree or disagree beats indifference. Once again, don't forget to like, comment and share. And of course, subscribe. Till next time, you keep rolling.